Hello guys, welcome back to this Steve Perez video. So in today's video, Steve doorbell rings at 3 a.m. and Steve wakes up and Steve gets a little worried about who could be at the door at 3 a.m. And before heading out the door, Steve picks up his camera and gets ready to film, and then Steve notices that his sister is not in the room either. And the doorbell is ringing until Steve goes downstairs, and Steve thinks maybe sister is at the door, and even in the house no one else sees Steve. And Steve himself looks a bit nervous, and then the doorbell stops ringing, and when Steve opens the door, Steve sees some mystery gifts on the door, and Steve does not see anyone else outside, and Steve does not feel right. And then Steve comes out of the house and looks around, but nobody's there and it's quiet everywhere, and Steve does not know who left the gifts. And after a lot of searching, Steve does not see any suspicious person outside, and Steve is very worried about the gifts, and the gifts are cake and chimpanzee toys. And then Steve brings the gifts inside, and then Steve notices that the cake says please don't arrest me, and Steve does not understand what kind of cake it is, and Steve gets a note card among the gifts. And Steve thinks the gifts are probably from Ariana, who is Steve's crazy ex. And then Steve sits comfortably in the chair and wants to talk about the gifts. And Steve reads everything written on the note card. And in the note card, Ariana pleads with Steve not to send Ariana back to jail. And then Steve checks the plush too, and Steve is fed up with all the gifts, and then checks the real footage, and the footage shows Ariana putting all the gifts on the door. And Steve sees that Ariana was trying to break into the house too but runs back, and Steve all confirms that the gifts came from Ariana. And Steve thanks Ariana in the video for the cake, but Steve makes it clear in the video that Steve and Ariana can never get back together, and Steve thinks all of Ariana gifts are a joke. So guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I have given the link of the official video in the description. You can also watch their official video. See you again in a new video. Until then, take care.